Hi, my name is Jonas. Today we're going to see if we can make a track with as only sound source the Yamaha Reface CS. Let's get to it. Let's create some drums first. For the kick I'm going to create three sounds: a sub, a mid and a transient or a click sound. The sub is based on a sine wave. We use the FM oscillator for that, self-resonating filter, fairly short decay, a little bit of release, and that's mostly it. It will sound like this. Classic 808 style kick. The mid kick starts from the same settings, but we make the release a little bit shorter and we increase the filter cutoff a little bit less. And there we have it, a 909-ish punchy kick. For the click, we create a short noise burst. So the envelope settings are almost zero, just a little bit of decay, resonance down again, cutoff fairly high. We still use the FM oscillator, we put the texture on max, a little bit of mod. So this becomes a very noise-like sound. And if you play it, it sounds like this. Very uninteresting noise click. But if you combine all of this, let's go to Cubase. I recorded the three kick sounds in Cubase, layered them, and if you play them together, it sounds like this. Pretty nice. Now the rest. I created the rim shot using the ring modulation oscillator, a little bit of decay, filter fairly wide open, texture mod, and it sounds like this. Kind of a woody, quite convincing rim shot sound. To create the hi-hats, we start from noise. How do you create noise on the Reface CS? Because it doesn't have a wide noise oscillator. Well, you start from the FM oscillator, put the texture and mod on max. Especially the mod is important here because that's the feedback of the operator. Lots of feedback means lots of harmonics, which start sounding like noise if you keep on adding them up. And we add some extra modulation. The LFO is modulating the pitch, speed goes all the way up, then it's in audio range, depth to the max, so it's also modulating, frequency modulating the oscillator, so it sounds even more noisy. A very short decay, and then you get this. A short noise burst that can be perfectly used as an open hi-hat. Add some more attack. And we have a shaker sound as well. The same sound we can use as a clap, just play it a lot lower. And it sounds like a dirty, noisy clap. But if you mix it properly, it will certainly work. Let's listen to everything combined. So I recorded all these sounds in Cubase, layered them, mixed them a little bit, and then it sounds like this. Now let's create some bass. For the bass we will create two sounds as well. A nice sub bass that is based on sine waves and a little bit more of a mid-range bass that is similar to a classic FM lately bass kind of sound. Always nice to use those. The sub bass is based on a sine wave, so we use the FM oscillator. All the texture and mod settings are on 0. This is just a clean sine. And we put the resonance of the filter on max, so it starts self-oscillating. And then we can use the cutoff to control the frequency of this oscillator. So you have two sine waves combined. This can be used as a kind of a drawbar, and then you get this classic organ-like sound. It sounds like this. The second bass sound is also based on the FM oscillator. We modulate the operator a little bit. We also use the same trick with the LFO modulating the pitch in audio range, so that's also some extra modulation. Short decay, a little bit of release, and we let the envelope control both the filter as the amplitude. It will sound like this. I programmed this pluggy sound based on the pulse oscillator. Sounds like this. We'll use it to add some steps to our track. Now to play some really nice fat chords, I programmed this saw oscillator based tremolo pad. It sounds like this. Now this small extra sound, I use it to play a little bit of an arpeggiator, and it also gives a nice rhythmic effect, so it fills the background quite nicely. It will sound like this. Once again, based on an FM oscillator, a little bit of modulation, quite short decay, so it's this kind of woody percussion sound. But you can play it chromatically quite well. I created this small laser-like FX sound as well. It's always nice to have things like this to, you know, fill in the transitions in your track, and it sounds like this. It's done by modulating the pitch with a very low speed but a very high depth. And then we modulate a bit of a dirty sounding sine wave, and then we just record some notes and use the best ones. And another effect we need for transitions are these noise sweeps. They're very easy to create, so we use the same trick to create white noise, but this time we give it a little bit more of decay and a longer sustain. And then it's just a matter of playing with the filter cutoff, record everything, and use the best ones as well, or record a few of them, long ones, short ones, and you can then sprinkle them throughout the track wherever they are needed. Sounds like this. And for the lead sounds, we're going for the classics, because this is a CS, so it's a distant cousin of the Yamaha CS80. We're going to create a Vangelis Blade Runner-esque lead sound, like this. This synth is really great at creating these kinds of sounds, or I just want to create them, I don't know, but it always works. It's basically a saw oscillator that is detuned a little bit, also nice chorus on there, a long attack that is influencing the filter envelope, and then you get this nice sweeping sound. And of course, we also modulate the pitch a little bit, so you get this vibrato. Add some reverb to this, and before you know, you're playing the soundtrack of Blade Runner. And we use a slight variation of this Blade Runner lead to play some fat chords that are sweeping in a very nice way, like this. Now let's put everything together in Cubase. So I've recorded all the Reface CS sounds, mixed them, laid them out in a nice arrangement, and actually we're done. We have our track. Let's listen to it. And that's it for today. Want more like this? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.